Welcome to Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown live results and other results as well. Birthdays, December 7th, Rick Rude. Another December 7th, Sonny. Dean Ambrose, December 8th, Jimmy Ray, Michael Coleslaw. And my name is Enzo Amore. WWE Studios Eliminators can be seen. The film can be seen at this link. Stars former WWE star Wade Barrett is on DVD, also Blu-ray and digital HD. Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler appeared on Cerrito Live over the weekend as he addressed reports of him being removed from WWE pre-shows. Lawler stated that the decision was made by WWE's Kevin Dunn for financial reasons. They can't afford to pay him. What? Lawler said that he and Dunn are very friendly, and Dunn is one of the top decision makers regarding WWE programming. The matter came down to money, and Lawler having his salary absorbed on the pre-show after he was taken off of SmackDown made the pre-shows very expensive to produce. As a result, they decided to jettison the pre-game show. Lawler also revealed that he's still under contract with WWE until January. So they may be, as Undertaker does. Additionally, Lawler said that he would speak about a new deal with the company, which would make him less and less money. But he did add that it's understandable since he would be working less, so he gets paid less. He went on to note that he is very well off financially and done very well. Lawler also expressed interest in working on another project, such as the history of Memphis wrestling for the WWE Network. Vince McMahon later called and spoke with Lawler and said that Lawler is not done with the company, and dropping him from the pre-show was a cost-cutting measure. According to Lawler, WWE told him he has a job there for life, with WWE as the Hall of Fame Master of Ceremony. Kenny Omega has been teasing that a new member of the Bullet Club will be revealed this week, calling the new member a monster that devours all competition. Booker T announced on Saturday night that he's planning to run for mayor of Houston in 2020. The WWE Hall of Famer made the reveal on his latest Heated Conversation podcast on Sports Radio 610, which you can listen to at this link here for you. You heard it, 2020. I'm preparing, he said. I'm preparing myself to run for mayor of the city. Booker noted that he made the decision after talking with Rhino about his run for a seat in Michigan's House of Representatives this year. Appearing on the podcast, Rhino said to Booker, "You are overqualified for the job. Wrestling not only prepares you for life, but it prepares you for the positions like that because you feel the emotion from the people. You know what they want. You built yourself from where you were to where you're at now." Edge recently spoke with Sports Illustrated, and here are the highlights from that. On plans WWE had for him: "While I was champion, I wanted to pass this on to whomever it was eventually. So it really hit home when I was told, we're not going to allow you to compete anymore. We did have a tentative plan to go forward once Alberto Del Rio and I were through our program. Christian would have cost me the title to Del Rio, and then he would have moved on and done our thing. And I thought he would retire me at WrestleMania. That's how I wanted to go out. I wanted to do the favor, drop the title, and then have Christian be the cause. Then spend the final few months of my career wrestling my lifelong best friend, and really have him go off in a great heel direction once I retired." Comments on Jeff Hardy: "The fact that he is still able to move at this point is amazing. He's made such a plaster scene. Even just his energy, he's very loose. He's an easygoing guy, and maybe that translated to his body being able to absorb all the punishment through the years. I don't know, but he's still going, and that's a fact. On who he would like to wrestle, if you put a heel rated R superstar with a Sami Zayn as a babyface, That would be something I would like to do. Seth is already set and already in position where he's okay. But if I ever came back, I'd like to wrestle somebody that I feel deserves to be in a top spot and show why. Sammy is a guy I look at and go, man, that guy is so super talented. I'd love to get in there as a heel with Jeff Hardy. I love wrestling Jeff in terms of his selling and all those things, or a match against Christian. Ring of Honor Final Battle 2016 pay-per-view results. New Ring of Honor Champion crown. Broken Man Hardy appeared and more. New member to be revealed is none other than Bullet Club member Cody Rhodes, according to PW Insider. Rhodes just turned heel at Ring of Honor's Final Battle pay-per-view with a win over Jay Lethal. And Jay Lethal was a multi-champion. So I'm wondering if it was a title match. Well, the final battle from the Manhattan Center, Hammerstein Ballroom, New York City. Pay-per-view opened up with Adam Cole's storytime video, chronicling his history with Kyle O'Reilly leading into to the event. Kevin Kelly and Steve Corino welcomed the pay-per-view audience to the final battle at the Manhattan Center. To preview tonight's lineup at the broadcast table. During the preview, the Four Corners survival match for the Ring of Honor TV Championship has been changed to a three-way, with Marty Scurll defending against Will Ospreay and CMLL standout Dragon Lee. The Rebellion faction of Caprice Coleman, Kenny King, and Rhett Titus versus the Motor City Machine Guns of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin and Donovan Dijak in their corner for their team. The Cabinet is no more. They are now dressed in battle fatigues. The Guns, on the other hand, are in the recruiting process for a new faction. On that, they plan to build to combat the Bullet Club. Dijak is one of their potential recruits. He comes to the ring wearing a Motor City Machine Gun shirt. The Rebellion attempts the Code of Honor handshake. The Guns and Dijak don't accept it. They don't buy the Rebellion's attempt at honor. Kenny King and Chris Sabin start things off for the match. Fast-paced opening sequence with both men showing each other up. Dijak is in next. Coleman hesitates to come to the ring. Call Dijak a jive turkey. Caprice pretends to go one-on-one with him. In comes the Rebellion. They knock the Guns off their apron. And they triple team Dijak. The Guns recover and even the odds. Dijak and the Guns hit tandem moves on the Rebellion. Shelley is now in with Rhett Titus. Shelley gets the upper hand, teams up with Dijak, and Donovan does a springboard elbow drop on Titus. The Guns and Dijak continue to tag in and out. Shelley and Sabin and Dijak do some triple team tandem offense on Titus. Rhett is finally able to break free from the corner by hitting a jawbreaker. He tags in Kenny. Then both team up on Chris Sabin. The Rebellion takes Sabin to the outside of the ring and proceeds to take turns ramming him into the barricade. The sequence ends when Kenny King leaps over the top rope onto Sabin. The Rebellion's in control. Sabin gets isolated in the corner and all three men hit aerial moves on him. Titus sets up Sabin in a slingshot position while Kenny King and Coleman leap onto him. Coleman goes for the cover. Shelley breaks up the pin. Sabin gets beat up some more by the Rebellion. Eventually, he is able to break free by hitting a tornado DDT on Kenny. Then he tags in Dijak. He comes into the match and lays out all three Rebellion members with big boots and then throws Titus across the ring. Caprice Coleman then tries to leap onto Dijak, then gets caught in midair and flung out of the ring. Titus goes to the top. Dijak choke slams him off of there. Covers for a close pinfall. The Guns are in running stereo knees onto Kenny and Coleman on the outside. Dijak then leaps over the rope and hits a plancha on the Rebellion ringside. Rhett is then brought back into the ring and treated as a crash dummy. The Guns and Dijak all take turns kicking him in the center of the ring as Dijak hits Feast Your Eyes on Titus. All three attempt to pin Titus. Coleman and King run into the ring and break up the pinfall. All six are going at it now. Frantic pace which leads to everyone being taken down. D-Jock is the last man standing. D-Jock goes to the outside and attempts a moonsault off the apron. Titus moves. D-Jock lands on his feet. Eats a drop kick from Brett. Caprice Coleman runs full speed out of falling D-Jock and hit the basement drop kick on him. Back in the ring, Motor City's Machine Guns has Kenny King cornered. They grab him and go for the skull and bones finish. Coleman breaks it up and then ends up hitting the Sky Splitter leg drop on Sabin. Titus follows that up with a big dog frog splash on Sabin and pins him. And the Rebellion defeated Motor City Machine Guns and Donovan D-Jock. New York crowd was very disappointed with this finish. Rebellion gloated and celebrated with a victory. Caprice ran into the crowd and argued with the fans. Throws a streamer at one of them. Donovan D-Jock helps Alex Shelley to the back, who may have twisted his ankle during the match. Gee, he cannot stay healthy. Video is shown of Silas Young challenging Jushin Thunder Liger at a recent Ring of Honor TV taping. The last real man, Silas Young with a Beer City Bruiser versus Jushin Thunder Liger. 52-year-old Japanese star gets a great response from the New York crowd. The man who debuted in 1984, Steve Corino mentioned on commentary that his wife wasn't even born yet in 1984. Liger offers to shake Young's hand prior to the match, but Silas knees him in the midsection. Young beats on Liger early in the match as Liger turns things around on Silas and takes a timeout and hits the outside. Liger follows out there and hits a senton bomb off the apron onto Young. The battle continues on the outside. Liger throws some shots on Young. Young comes back inside. Vintage Liger as he applies a surfboard submission on Silas. Transitions into a chin knock. Out of desperation, Silas pulls the referee, tries to clear into Liger to break up the hold. The delay in action helps Silas regain the advantage. He knocks down Liger in an attempt to take off his mask. Young ends up hitting a nice twisting neck breaker on Liger. It leads to a 2 count. The fan chant for Liger as he ends up getting pushed outside of the ring. Beer City Bruiser attacked Liger and threw him out back into the ring. Silas goes after Liger's mask again, but he escapes. Silas starts trash talking Liger. He hits a backbreaker on Liger and drapes his body over his knee, trying to get him to submit. Jushin kicks his way out. The battle goes back to the apron. Liger attempts a suplex Young into the ring, but Bruiser hangs on to Young's leg. Ref doesn't see it. Liger falls down. Silas hits a springboard foot stomp on him. Young goes again for Liger's mask. Liger rallies, but both men knock each other down with a double clothesline. A mini Ty Dillinger style 10 count is started by the fans in attendance. Both men are back on their feet. Liger ends up hitting a Hurricane Runner on Young, and it nets him a near fall. Liger then attempts the Liger bomb. Silas counters and goes for his finisher, Misery. Liger escapes, but ends up getting hit with a backbreaker clothesline combo. Young tried to pin Liger, but he kicked out. Silas then grabbed the Bruiser's beer at ringside, drinks it, and then pours it on Liger. Young tries to suplex Liger, but he counters into a brainbuster. As Jushin then goes to the top, Silas meets him up there. They battle up there for a bit. Liger knocks Young down. Bruiser runs across the apron towards Liger, but he gets knocked down and it spits out his beer. Jushin leaps off the top, but Silas puts his knees up. Then he hits Misery on Liger and pins him. So, last real man, Silas Young defeated Liger by pinfall. Highlights are now shown of the breakup between Dalton Castle and Colt Cabana. Castle makes a grand entrance on a chariot for his entrance. Colt tries to play mind games early on with Dalton, but it doesn't work. Less comedy early on that you would expect early on from these two. A few select fans tried to do a CM Punk chant, but get booed and shut down by the fans in attendance. Dalton is one step ahead of Colt in the early part of this match as Cabana got frustrated, headed to the outside, and goes after Dalton's boys. He throws them into the ring and tries to distract Dalton, but it backfires on him. Cabana then leaves the ring ring again to regroup. As Cabana comes back in, and Dalton hits consecutive suplexes on him. Cabana is able to get to the rope to prevent the third one. Cabana then turns the tables by tripping Castle and knocking him down. Colt takes over the match for a while and taunts the crowd. Dalton and his boys. Castle eventually battles back, catches Colt in midair and eats a beautiful T-bone suplex. Castle goes for the bridge suplex on Colt. He counters it into the Billy Goat curse submission, which he has now been renamed the Cubs win. Castle is able to get to the ropes. He nearly taps out when he gets there. The battle goes out to the outside, and Castle hits a spinning Rana on Cabana. Action back inside the ring. After a couple of reversals and near falls by both men, Dalton and Colt are on the top rope. Cabana gets Castle up on his shoulders to attempt the Chicago skyline, but Dalton breaks free from it. Castle goes for the bang-a-rang. Colt counters into a roll-up for a near fall. Both men are back up at this time. Dalton connects with a bang-a-rang for the victory. Cody Rhodes versus Jay Lethal. And you can see part of this match at this link here. Jay Lethal promo aired, hyping the next match. Beautiful Randy Rose introduces her husband, Cody. Her mic doesn't work initially. She intros her husband by saying that if you are down with him, she's got 2 words for you. The crowd responds, suck it. Interesting introduction choice. Cody makes his entrance. He is showered by streamers and a large Cody chant. Jay Lethal then makes his entrance and has a special vest design. It has its own list on the back of it. The names of Kurt Angle, Ric Flair, Del Rio, and Jay Briscoe are checked off. Cody's name is at the bottom of the list, unchecked. The Addiction arrives on the scene after both men are introduced. They head to the ring, grab the mic. They say that this is the biggest show of the year, but they weren't going to miss this. The crowd tells them to shut up. They want to see Cody and Lethal wrestle. Daniels mentions Cody's debut and says that Lethal is arguably the greatest champ Ring of Honor has ever had. Daniels then talks about growing up in North Carolina. He puts over watching Dusty Rhodes, talks of how he inspired him. Daniels says that the wrestling business needs people like Cody. Daniels tells Cody that he has to prove himself in Ring of Honor. Daniels puts over the Ring of Honor fan base. The Addiction says that they are going to take over the commentary during the match. They tell both Lethal and Cody to tear it up. Kevin Kelly doesn't really put the Addiction over after this by saying, well, okay. So we got the match. This has a chance to be a really good match. Both Lethal and Cody adhere to the code of honor and shake hands. Evenly contested battle early on, both men countering and reversing each other's holds. The Addiction has taken over for Steve Corino at commentary. Corino is sitting off to the side, not looking too happy. Speculation is that this could be his last Ring of Honor pay-per-view. How much it is. Lethal gains the advantage with a nice-looking missile drop kick. It turns the tide in his favor briefly as Lethal attempts a suplex and Cody countered with a long-standing face-first suplex. Cody goes to work on Lethal's left arm, applied an arm block. Cody hit an uppercut on Lethal, then goes for the beautiful disaster. Lethal avoided it and hits Cody with a standing drop kick. Lethal charged at Cody and got knocked down. Cody goes back to working on Jay's arm. Jay breaks free, throws Cody over the ropes. Cody ends up skinning the cat, Steamboat style, but ends up getting a basement drop kick in the face and knocked to the outside. Jay Lethal, Black Machismo, hits 2 consecutive suicide dives on Cody, goes for a third. Cody is able to avoid it, hits a springboard kick on Lethal when he goes to the apron. Cody then runs and leaps off the ropes onto Lethal. Both men are back inside the ring. Cody ends up going to a Stardust playbook, doing an in-ring cartwheel complete with a Stardust pose. They run each other down and butt heads in a nasty spot. Cody is able to recover and hit the beautiful disaster kick, but both get back to their feet. Slowly they trade shots and strikes in the center of the ring. Cody fires out with chops and 2 consecutive clothesline. Jay retaliates with a lethal combination. Cody covers Cody for a 2 count. Lethal then puts Cody in the torture rack briefly before slamming him down. Lethal then applies a crossface submission. Cody gets out of it and applies an Indian deathlock on Lethal. Lethal is able to get to the ropes and escape. Cody rolls up Lethal for a 2 count, then hits a lariat, which turns Lethal inside out. Cody heads up top to the top rope and misses with a moonsault. Lethal ends up hitting a cutter on Cody, heads up top and hits a Hail to the King elbow drop, Macho Man style. When he lands, Cody rolls up Jay in a crucifix cradle and gets a near fall. Lethal hits Cody with 2 thrust kicks, sets up a lethal injection. He accidentally bumps heads with the referee, Todd Sinclair. It gives Cody time to recover, and he hits a low blow on Lethal. Crowd boos Cody as he nails Lethal with the crossroads for the victory and wins the match. After the match, Cody disrespects the Ring of Honor crowd, laughs at them for booing him, points to the word honor written on his boots. Cody mocks the code of honor and puts out his hand in a mocking fashion toward the fallen Jay Lethal. Then flips him the double bird and stomps on Lethal, Stone Cold style. The Addiction headed to the ring, and F.U. Cody chant is started by the crowd. Cody starts disrespecting everyone at ringside, flipped the timekeeper's table, shoved the ref, grabbed a drink out of the crowd, and throws it at him. The Addiction go after Cody, but he got away, mocking the fans on his way out of the arena. Cody left, then comes back and shoves down Steve Corino at the broadcast desk. Steve gets up to go after Cody, but Cody ran off. 6-man tag team championship tournament followed. New Ring of Honor 6-man championships are unveiled for the match. All are silver looking. The match starting. Steve Corino commented on Cody's actions. Corino claimed that Cody's actions are courtesy of Kevin Sullivan. That somehow he may be the evil that Kevin promised coming to Ring of Honor. The action starts. Hot and heavy in this 6-man action. Matt Taven is nearly pinned in the opening minute when Leo Rush hit a frog splash on him. It's been a year since Taven's serious injuries took him out of action. Kevin Kelly goes over Taven's bad luck history and at Final Battle in the past. How he lost the TV championship to Masa Ciampa in a few years back and tore his ACL last year at Final Battle. The Kingdom tried to regroup early on, but to no avail. White, Kushida, and Rush control the ring, control the action. It isn't until Taven's DDT's Rush that the Kingdom will get back on track. TK O'Ryan and Marseglia hit some great tandem moves on Rush and get a near pinfall. They control the next few minutes, beating down Rush in the corner. Leo manages to run away and escape. He tags in Kushida, who ends up arm dragging all 3 Kingdom members and then applies a hoverboard lock on Orion. The Kingdom step in and knock White and Rush off the apron, then triple team Kushida. All 3 try to put him away but can't. Kushida ends up hitting a double handspring elbow on the Kingdom and tagging in Jay White. White hits a flurry of offensive move on him, ends up suplexing all 3 men into one corner of the ring. All top of each other, White, Kushida, and Rush go to work, hit triple team aerial moves on Vinny Marseglia. White hits a Mr. Job kick off the top for a near fall. Jay White then heads to the top with Marseglia. Marseglia applies a Boston Crab on White from the top rope. Kushida leaps off the top rope and applies a hoverboard lock on Marseglia. Here comes Matt Taven to the top rope. He superplexes Kushida. Leo Rush hits a splash on Taven. When he lands, TK O'Ryan flies off the other top rope and lands on Rush. Frantic action with everyone ending up down on the mat. Everyone is up. starts diving on each other, about 6 straight dives to the outside. It ends up with Taven taking out everyone. The Kingdom then attempt a triple team power bomb on Rush, White, and Kushida break it up. The action continues. Taven ends up eating several drop kicks. Jay White hits a brainbuster on Taven, goes for the pinfall. Vinny Marseglia leads off the top rope and purposely lands on the ref to break up the potential 3 count. That was a cool spot. Referee is out. Tico O'Ryan grabs Matt Taven's cane and attempts to use it. Kushida is able to stop him from doing so at that moment. Leo Rush and Matt Taven are left in the ring. Taven throws Rush into the ropes. O'Ryan swings with the cane and nails him. Kingdom hit a triple team powerbomb on Rush and Taven pins him. The Kingdom defeated Leo Rush, Kushida, and Jay White to become the first ever Ring of Honor World 6-Man Tag Team Champions. Triple threat match for the World TV title is up next. The Villain, Marty Scurll, versus Will Ospreay and Dragon Lee. Bobby Fish is out of the match. It was supposed to be a fatal 4-way. Presumably due to injury, Dragon Lee earned his TV title opportunity by defeating Fish on Ring of Honor TV. Both Scurll and Ospreay played hot potato with championship in London. Scurll is the current champ, electrifying offense to start the match. By all 3 talents, Dragon Lee, Scurll, and Ospreay all displayed their athleticism early on to a rousing ovation from the crowd. Steve Corino has maybe the line of the night when he said that every old veteran wrestler just rolled over in the graves. Dragon Lee ends up getting the better of Scurll and Ospreay early on. Hits several aerial moves on them inside and outside of the ring, not to be outdone by Will Ospreay. The aerial assassin puts on a display of his own, showing some serious hang time and hitting Dragon Lee with a spinning tornado DDT. The Villain counters Ospreay and Lee by living up to his name, slowing them down by playing dirty. Low blows and chop blocks. Scurll hits a nasty slam on Ospreay where Will's head lands on the bottom rope and then the mat. Dragon Lee is back inside the ring, takes down Scurll and Ospreay. The UK duo end up briefly teaming up and they hit Lee with several kicks. Ospreay and Scurll's friendship doesn't last long. They start battling each other and Lee gets back into the match and hitting a sit-out jumping powerbomb style move. No name for that one yet. Lee then hits a Hurricane Rana on Ospreay to the outside, but Will stands on his feet. Crowd erupts for that spot. Action back in the ring. Scurll gets control on Ospreay briefly, attempts a suplex, but Ospreay counters with a twisting cutter in midair. Follows that up with 2 straight shooting star presses. Goes to the air again, but gets caught. Marty applied the chicken wing submission in midair. Dragon Lee broke up the hold with a double foot stomp. All 3 are back exchanging multiple strikes. Marty wins the exchange by raking Lee and Ospreay in the eyes. Don't blink during this match because you'll end up missing a lot. Ospreay hit a springboard Pele kick on Lee, AJ Styles style, and on Lee and Scurll. Ospreay then attempts a 450 splash on Lee, but Dragon puts his knees up at the last second. Lee hits a bridge suplex on Ospreay. Marty broke up the pinfall. Scurll actually grabbed Lee's hand and appears to snap his fingers. Nearly pukes at the sound of Dragon's bones snapping. This got a big reaction. Marty goes for the chicken wing submission, but Dragon counters into a near cradle pinfall. Ospreay is up and hits a twisting spin kick to Lee, then hits a leaping lethal injection type cutter. Marty grabs Ospreay and throws him out of the ring and applies the chicken wing to Lee as Dragon Lee taps out as Marty Scurll wins. And they retain the Ring of Honor TV Championship. The champ is ready for action. Final battle. And at this link as well. There's a picture of that. Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship match. Young Bucks of Nick and Matt Jackson. Buddies of mine on Twitter. Against the Briscoes, Mark and Jay. Kevin Kelly actually comments that the Bucks future Ring of Honor before the match. That is usually a sign that they are staying. But who knows? The Young Bucks are scheduled to defend the IWGP Junior tag titles against RPG Vice at Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th. It remains to be seen if they will be Ring of Honor champs by then. Them boys are going for their 9th reign as Ring of Honor tag champs. The super kick party starts early in this match, about 7 of them in the first few minutes. The Bucks use their speed and agility to overcome the Briscoes' brawling style early on. Matt and Nick Jackson end up powerbombing the Briscoes on the apron. Carino calls it an ode to KO. The Bucks go for the Terminator, but the Briscoes rise up on their own and take the Bucks down with the clotheslines. The match shifts in their favor as Mark borrows a page from Cactus Jack and hits a bang bang elbow drop from the apron onto Matt Jackson. The Briscoes control the next few minutes of the match as their brawling style takes over. Mark and Jay end up inviting the Bucks to a super kick party of their own. The Bucks battle back and return the favor. Matt and Nick end up hitting the bang for the buck on Jay, but he kicks out. They then set up Jay for the Meltzer driver. Mark makes the save. Jay hits a DVD on Matt Jackson. All 4 men are down after Mark hits a Uranagi on Nick on the outside. In an awesome spot, the Bucks are back up and attempted the Meltzer driver on Mark Briscoe. As Nick leaps off the top, Jay intercepts him in midair and hits him, nails the cutter on him. That sounds like the RKO out of nowhere. This has ceased being a standard tag team as all 4 men continue to battle inside the ring. No tags allowed. These guys are doing a great job following the TV title match. The crowd does the dueling too sweet chant, man up chants throughout. The final sequence sees the Bucks hitting the Meltzer driver on Mark. Jay breaks up the pinfall. Bucks have both Briscoes on their knees. They deliver several super kicks to them. Mark and Jay's no sell the last few and fire up. They beg for more, and they get about 10 straight super kicks each. They eventually lay them out. Fun sequence if logic be damned. The young Bucks pin the Briscoes and win after all the craziness. New tag team champions, Young Bucks. Lights go out in the arena and a Broken Matt Hardy appears on the big screen. The crowd explodes. Broken Matt Hardy says that he and his brother Nero are coming to Ring of Honor to go after the Spot Monkeys and the Young Bucks to prove that they are the best tag teams in the galaxy. Matt says that they are going to make the Rednecks and Spot Monkeys obsolete and that they will delete them. The crowd chants delete with Matt. What a moment. The crowd chants delete for the next few minutes. And we get the next match. Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly for the World Championship match. Ring of Honor matchmaker Nigel McGillis joins the commentary for this team match. And that might be his last event for Ring of Honor as well. Nigel talks about the stipulation added to this match as O'Reilly's request. He is also asked about the Matt Hardy video that aired after the Bucks match. But he says silent on the subject. Nigel doesn't answer Kelly's question on it. An all-out brawl to start this match. They take things out to the outside. Kyle gets the better of Adam early on. Throws him into the barricade, then hits an overhead belly-to-belly suplex on Adam on the outside. Back in the ring, Kyle says stays in control until Adam Cole is able to push him off the top rope. O'Reilly lands on the ringside floor. He lands on the previously injured shoulder, and Adam goes to work on it. Kyle's shoulder has been heavily bandaged for months, but tonight he has no bandages on. Cole controls the next few minutes of the match and ending up hitting O'Reilly with his world title on the outside of the ring. It busts Kyle open. He goes under the ring apron and appears to get busted open there. No secret to anyone what just happened. Kyle draped the apron over himself to cover up the dirty deed. Blade job. Cole brings Kyle into the ring, goes to suplex him, but Kyle lands on his feet. He fires up and falls down and faints to the outside. Adam goes after Kyle and opens him up some more with a trash can. O'Reilly has a crimson mask going, bleeding heavily. Cole puts the trash can over Kyle and super kicks him in the head. Cole gets some steel chairs from under the ring, proceeds to hit O'Reilly repeatedly with them. O'Reilly fires up. To Cole's surprise, he starts hitting Cole with several kicks and strikes. Kyle gets Cole in an armbar submission. Cole is able to escape of it. Nope. They go to the outside. Kyle sits Adam in a steel chair. Kicks him repeatedly. Hits him with a trash can. Then leaps onto the ring apron. Hits a missile drop kick through the trash can. And Adam Cole. O'Reilly now gets a table. Sets it up in the ring. He puts Adam Cole on top of it. Kyle hits to the top rope. Cole recovers and meets him up there. Adam then attempts a superplex on Kyle. But he got out of it and hits a superplex of his own onto the table. O'Reilly covers for the close fall. Both men end up going to the ring apron. They are near another table set up at ringside. Both men hit low blows on each other. Kyle applies a guillotine choke on Cole. They both end up landing backwards onto the table. It looks like Cole was DDT'd through the table. Adam is now busted open, bleeding. O'Reilly gets out of steel chain from under the ring. Adam is in the ring now. Hits the last shot on O'Reilly for the near fall. Cole now goes and gets thumbtacks and pours them out into the ring. He tries to suplex O'Reilly onto him. They fight. Kyle fights out of it and applies yet another guillotine choke. He transitions into a triangle choke. Cole lifts him up and powerbombs him onto the thumbtacks. Cole goes to finish O'Reilly, but counters with a brainbuster on the tacks. O'Reilly applies an armbar submission on Cole on top of the tacks and forces him to tap out. O'Reilly defeats Adam Cole by submission to become your new Ring of Honor World Champion. Kerry Ahsoka presented the Ring of Honor World title to Kyle O'Reilly as O'Reilly celebrated as the show came to a close. What was Becky Lynch doing after her pay-per-view loss? Show you a picture of that. And she commented on Twitter at Becky Lynch, WWE, you can knock me down, but you'll never keep me down. And you will never outwork me. Hashtag two-time champ. Hashtag reclaim. Raw Team Tag Team Champions New Day will defend against Cesaro and Sheamus and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson in a triple threat match on next week's Raw from Philadelphia. In the Raw follow-up video that was done on WWE, Mike Rome informs that the champions of next week's match they're confident about retaining next week and breaking Demolition's record, but take things out of Rome for breaking the news. Kofi Kingston calls Rome a creep as he walks off to end in that interview. It was noted by a correspondent at Dustin96 that a lot of fans were leaving Monday's Raw in Austin, Texas, before Charlotte Flair even came out to do her apology segment, which ended in Charlotte bullying her dad again and delivering a beatdown to Raw Women's Champion Sasha Banks. Dustin also noted that more fans were leaving the arena as Charlotte was talking. Dana Brooke has been retweeting several comments from fans wondering why she wasn't on this week's Raw. And here's a few. And those were a few of that. Chris Hero appears to be returning to WWE. A source in the company is claiming that Hero is on his way back to the company. But there's no word yet as to whether he's headed to WWE NXT or the main roster. And no time frame. Hero previously worked in NXT and his predecessor, FCW, as Cassius Ohno before being released in November of 2013. At the time, there were reports that it had to do with his physique. After his release, Hero went back to the Indies and has been active ever since, including 3 shows this weekend at Evolve and Beyond Wrestling. The WWE has been signing several big indie names as of late, with the latest being the likes of Roderick Strong, Tommy End, and Big Damo. The Chris Hero returning to WWE news came after readers have noticed he had a lack of bookings in 2017. Ring of Honor has announced that Nigel McGuinness has resigned from his position of matchmaker and is leaving the company. The company sent out an official statement announcing that the company accepted his resignation And you can see the statement from ROHWrestling.com. McGinnis returned to the company in 2011 after his TNA run and did a retirement tour before he stepped away from in-ring competition due to medical issues and becoming a commentator and then on-screen matchmaker. Earlier this week, I'm doing this video on Sunday night this week because I've been busy, family issues, time and what have you, work, haven't been able to do my video. Well, earlier this evening, with heavy hearts, Ring of Honor officials accepted the resignation of Ring of Honor matchmaker Nigel McGuinness. Speculation surrounding McGuinness' sudden resignation has begun to boil among Ring of Honor officials, while some chastise his leniency towards Bullet Club's behavior in the summer. Others believe that now McGuinness may be under extreme duress from Bullet Club's Adam Cole for changing the stipulation of the final battle main event just days in advance. One of Ring of Honor's all-time greats, the former Ring of Honor World Champion, has resigned. Ring of Honor management has announced it is forming an executive committee to oversee matchmaking in the Ring of Honor. We wish Nigel McGuinness the best of his luck in his future. Update on AJ Styles' injury, like I promised from Monday Night Raw. The picture I couldn't download because Instagram protected it. So, Instagram.com/AJ Styles P1. There was a minor WWE creative shakeup on Friday as managing lead writer Tom Casiello was released. According to F4W Online, Casiello oversaw both Raw and SmackDown writing teams and had been a key person who was very influential in the push of the female WWE superstars as of late. He also worked on long-term storyline plans. Casiello was a former soap writer and first worked with WWE from 2006 to 2012, then returned in December 2015. More than 20 independent wrestlers attended a tryout held on Thursday in Melbourne, Australia, hours before NXT took over the Margaret Court Arena. WWE Scouts also held smaller tryouts earlier on the NXT Live tour in Osaka, Japan, and Perth, Australia. Among these confirmed at the Melbourne tryout were Jermaine Jonah Rock Haley and Luke Slex Guyot, who have also competed in Australia and Japan, and who are members of the mighty Don't Kneel stable. MDK, that's what was promoted on the, I think, the Evolve tour, and what have you. A group that launched the careers of NXT superstars Shane Thorne and Nick Miller, Chantel Shazza McKenzie Allison, who has wrestled in NXT, Shimmon's women athletes, and Shine Wrestling. Adam Wilmot, a.k.a. Adam Brooks, who formerly teamed with Buddy Murphy, and Kellyanne Salter, who has competed in the United States, Mexico, and Canada, in addition to her native Australia. The tryouts came as a number of international recruits at the WWE Performance Center is at an all-time high. Australia has proven to be an especially prolific region for talent in recent years, beyond Murphy and TM61, Emelina, NXT superstar Peyton Royce, and Billie Kay, and 6'6" Performance Center recruit Chris Atkins, all hail from down under. SmackDown opens up with a look at TLC. Live from Houston, the home of Booker T, as WWE World Champion AJ Styles makes his way out. Styles is not dressed to wrestle and is wearing a walking boot. Mauro Ranallo welcomes us. He's joined by JBL. I didn't see the first part of SmackDown. Called it late because I had other issues. Like I said, busy with my family. I went to see my mom at Life Care on Linwood Avenue here in Shreveport, Louisiana. Well, Mauro welcomes us. He's joined by JBL, David Otunga, Tom Phillips. AJ says he's not going to waste any time. He shows us stills from TLC main event from Sunday. Styles mentioned being stuck in a boot for a week. He says he's not medically cleared to defend against James Ellsworth tonight. Fans boo. Ellsworth makes his way out. Ellsworth says he has AJ's number and wonders if Daniel Bryan is protecting him. Ellsworth says Styles is ducking him, and if he wasn't, Ellsworth would become champion tonight. Ellsworth says AJ would have lost the TLC main event if it wasn't for him. They go on until the music hits, and out comes Dean Ambrose to a pop. Ambrose enters the ring, quickly kicks Ellsworth, and hits Dirty Deeds. Ambrose immediately leaves the ring. As AJ looks on, his music never stopped playing. Still to come, segment, Alexa Bliss celebrated her big win. Also, Rhino and Heath Slater get their rematch against the Wyatt family. We cut backstage to the Wyatts. Brady says they're here. We go to commercial. Tag team title match, Rhino and Heath Slater versus Wyatt family. Back for the break, new SmackDown tag team champions, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt make their way out with Luke Harper. Rhino and Heath Slater are out next for this TLC match. Orton and Slater start things off. Back and forth until Wyatt and Rhino come in. Rhino goes for the gore, but Wyatt rolls to the floor to regroup. We go to commercial. Back from the break, Wyatt is going at it with a Rhino. Wyatt with a big clothesline and a senton splash for a 2 count. Wyatt with another 2 count. Orton comes in and takes Rhino down with a drop kick. Orton covers for a 2 count. Rhino comes out of the corner and drops Orton with a shoulder. Slater gets hot tag, knocks Wyatt off the apron. Slater unloads on Orton now. Slater with a high knee and a big kick. Slater with a neck breaker for a 2 count. Slater stops Wyatt from coming in, but Orton power slams him. Rhino breaks up the pin, but gets sent to the floor. Wyatt tags in, but Slater decks him. Wyatt floors Slater with a clothesline. Wyatt signals for a 6 Abigail, but Orton tags in before hitting it. Wyatt kisses Slater on the forehead and whips him into the RKO for the win. Wyatt family retains. After the match, Wyatt family poses together as we get replays. Dasha Fentez approached Kalisto backstage and asked him about requesting a rematch against Baron Corbin. Kalisto says he feels like he's been hit by a car, but he still has the speed factor and speed kills. Still to come segment, Natalya versus Carmella, back to commercial. That match is up next. Back for the break, out comes Carmella. She takes the mic and runs down Natalya, saying she attacked Nikki Bella because Nikki is stealing her spotlight. Carmella goes on, knocking Natalya until the music hits and out she comes. Natalya hits the ring and Carmella attacks her before the bell rings. They brawl as the referee watches. They run around the ring and Natalya catches Carmella chases Carmella all the way to the back. Cameras finally go to the back with Natalya hunting for Carmella. She finds Nikki instead. Natalya says Carmella is a liar and Nikki can't believe any of what she's saying. Nikki just stares at her. And that's it. Still to come, Alexa Bliss celebrates her TLC win. Also, Dean Ambrose will be the special guest on Miz TV. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Baron Corbin is walking backstage. Dasha approaches him for comments on Kalisto. Corbin says Kalisto is just like a mosquito. They're fast and they buzz around until they land on him. Splat. Ascension versus the Hype Brothers. We go to the ring. Connor awaits with Victor. Zack Ryder and Mojo are out next. We get a sidebar video from earlier as Ascension cutting a promo on the Dark new tag team division. They will rise out of the darkness, they say. We get a video from Mojo and Raleigh, who are ready to waste the Ascension and focus on the SmackDown tag team titles. Ryder starts off with Victor. Victor nails Mojo, and Ryder goes to work on him. Ascension turns it around with a double team. Connor keeps control of Ryder now as Victor comes back in, and they keep Ryder down with a frequent tag. Mojo finally gets a hot tag and unloads on the Ascension. Mojo with a 2 count on Victor as Connor breaks a pin. Connor tosses Ryder outside. Mojo tosses Connor. Victor hit back in with a roll up for a 2 count. Ryder tags back in, and they hit the Hype Rider on Victor for the pinfall and win the match. Back for the commercial break, out comes Maurice with the Intercontinental Champion Miz for another edition of Miz TV. Miz talks about WWE TLC and his ladder match win over Dolph Ziggler. Miz goes on and introduces his guest, Dean Ambrose. Miz wonders how angry Ambrose was when he hit Ellsworth with the Dirty Deeds from earlier. Miz says Ambrose must be the angriest man on earth. Ambrose says he is not angry. and we've never seen him angry. Ambrose says he was shocked at what Ellsworth did at TLC. Miz says maybe Ambrose deserved what happened. Maybe he got off easy. Miz goes on and upsets Ambrose. Ambrose gets in his face. Miz puts Maurice in between them, and this is where I came in to see that little segment, which leads to Miz presenting Ambrose with the first ever Miz Participation Award. It's framed and everything. Fan chant, you deserve it, and Ambrose. Miz agrees. Ambrose threatens to shove the award down Miz's throat. Music hit interrupts. Out comes SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan. Bryan says he can't let Ambrose attack Miz right now, but he has one better. Tonight's main event will be Ambrose versus Miz with the title on the line. Miz throws a fit. Bryan gets a yes chant going as his music hits. Still to come segment. Kalisto versus Corbin, back to commercial, which is up next. Back from the ring, out comes Kalisto as we get steals from the chairs match at TLC. Corbin was out next. Kalisto starts hot, but Corbin takes control, works him over. Corbin tosses Kalisto to the floor, stands tall, and fans boo. Kalisto makes it back in at the 9 count, and Kalisto fights his way back up and dumps Corbin to the floor. Kalisto with a moonsault from the corner. Kalisto goes on and kicks Corbin in the mouth from the apron. Corbin runs back in. It looks like Corbin's bleeding. More back and forth. Kalisto with a springboard DDT and spike into the mat for a 2 count. Kalisto goes up top. Kalisto is forced to land on his feet. More back and forth as Corbin catches Kalisto in the days for the win. After the match, go to replays as Corbin stands tall. Nikki Bella is backstage when singer Sophia Grace approaches her to try to cheer her up. Nikki mentions herself, Brie Bella, Lana, Sasha Banks, and Naomi are one of Sophia's upcoming singles. Still to come segment. Bliss will celebrate. Back to commercial. Chad Gable versus Tyler Breeze. Back from the ring. Now comes American Alpha as Breezango waits in the ring. They lock up. End up on the floor early on. Breeze gets tangled in the camera cord. Breeze takes control until Gable dumps him over the top. Breeze comes back in and Gable hits an explosive suplex. Gable with more offense until Breeze sends him to the floor. Fandango runs over, but Jason Jordan suplexes him. This leads to Gable pinning Breeze in the ring. Still to come segment. Ambrose versus Miz. Also Alexa Bliss will celebrate. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Now comes SmackDown's new women's champion, Alexa Bliss. She poses in the corner. Powers goes off on the stage. Bliss says she proved at TLC that happy endings do not exist. We want Becky chants. Seemed to rattle the champ. Bliss says Becky Lynch called her a word that rhymes with witch last week. But now this little witch runs the entire division. The music hits and out comes Becky. Becky says Bliss is about to find how hard it is to stay at the top. Bliss taunts Becky and the fans and says this is her era now. Bliss says Becky can call her what she wants, but she will call her champion. Becky likes calling her what she called her last week more. Becky says Bliss's reign ends with her rematch, and she wants that right now. Bliss looks ready to fight, but she's backs out of the ring and leaves with her title. Intercontinental Champion title match. Dean Ambrose versus Miz. Back from the break. It's time for the main event. Ambrose makes his way out as we go to commercial. Back from the break. Out comes the Intercontinental Champion Miz with Maurice. Formal ring introductions from Greg Hamilton. The bell rings and they go at it. Back and forth to start. Ambrose takes control with a clothesline and right hands. Ambrose clotheslines Miz to the floor. They end up brawling on the floor. And Ambrose launches Miz into the barricade. Barrier. Barricade, same thing. Ambrose stands tall as we go to commercial. Back for the break. Miz is in control. Back and forth with pin attempts now. Ambrose goes to up top but rolls through. Ambrose counters with a skull crushing finale. Ambrose counters the skull crushing finale move. Miz blocks Dirty Deeds. So they counter the finishers. Miz nails a big drop kick to Ambrose's knee. Miz goes to work on the knee. Ambrose fights back, but Miz gets him locked in a figure four. Ambrose makes it to the bottom rope and breaks a hold. Miz charges, but Ambrose dumps him to the floor. Ambrose runs the ropes for a dive and nails it, sending Miz into the barrier. Back in the ring, Ambrose blocks a skull-crushing finale for a 2 count. Miz nails a DDT for a 2 count. Miz does the yes kick, taunts. That taunts Bryan as Maurice cheers him on. Ambrose catches the last kick and rolls him up for a 2 count. Ambrose nails the lunatic lariat. Ambrose goes up top but misses. The Miz cuts him off. Miz goes for a superplex, but Ambrose fights him off, sends him to the mat. Referee slips down but isn't out. Maurice takes advantage and crosses Ambrose on the top rope, but Miz only gets a 2 count after a knee. James Ellsworth makes his way down. Ellsworth yells to the referee about Maurice's involvement. Ambrose rolls up Miz. The referee doesn't see it. Miz kicks out. Ambrose stares at Ellsworth and isn't happy. Miz takes advantage and rolls Ellsworth up out of nowhere for the win. After the match, Ellsworth runs away to the back. Maurice brings the title to Miz as we go to replay. SmackDown goes off the air, and Miz celebrating as Ambrose looks on from the ring. And that concludes my results for this week's SmackDown Live and your Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Thanks again. Peace out. See you when I want to be. If you don't know, just call me brothers and sisters.